Hi, you guys. Hopefully, you can hear me. Good morning. I wanted to come and talk about the interview last night with Tasha K and Avonte Wright. Now, I wanted to do this last night, but I said I was going to wait because, number one, I wanted to see if Shawn would say anything. And then, as I was going through my videos last night, I noticed that Tasha K had spoke on this affair, if you will, 5 years ago, and she kind of broke down all the stuff that she's saying with that they are going to talk about in the interview that they talked about in the interview last night, I should say. Um, she was kind of just putting it out there about the spiritual wives and all that. Now, Avante, of course, added some more stuff last night. However, um, but 5 years ago, Shawn, he went live and issued an apology to his wife. I don't think he's going to do that again because I feel like these guys kind of know the stories are already out here. Um, and so, yeah, so the story was kind of already out there about the spiritual wives. Now, I've never heard anything about any of the guys from Boys to Men, to be honest, outside of some people having issues with YA dating Brandy years ago. Um, but other than that, no, I've never heard, like they might need a mini series for some of this stuff. But yeah, I don't think anyone knew about some of these stories that she put out here. She was saying um, that his wife was okay. It was kind of confusing as well because I feel like this, if you're trying to say this is your religion, wouldn't the person that you decide to marry, that you're married to, would she not know about all the spiritual stuff that you got going on? I'm just asking. I don't understand how it is that the wife didn't know what was going on if you're saying that this is a part of their religion. And then she said that the other guys are this way as well, except for, well, she didn't really say Nate. She said Nate just decided to stay single, right? She said Nate has been single. He just decided not to get married and take a wife, I guess, through all of this. Um, but she definitely put Wanye out there as far as Wanye getting someone pregnant within his marriage, and I don't. I almost feel like Wanye's been married twice, but I could be wrong. I feel like he was married to someone else, but he married the current wife. I could be wrong about that. I could be thinking about somebody else, but I don't know. But if that wasn't out there, it's out there now that he has a child outside of his marriage. Now, like I said, I've never heard any of these stories. I didn't even know they would get involved in stuff like this, but they would even allow themselves to get put out here. But we're all human, so people do it. We're all doing things, right? Like, I'm not judging them in any way that they can't make these decisions. But it was just interesting to hear it because I've never heard it before. And then she said, what else? She was saying quite a few things. The whole thing about the spiritual wives, I still don't understand. But then when she said it was Israel, I never knew they were Israelites. Never heard that before. Um, I just assumed they were Christians because they had that Christmas album, right? And to my understanding, some of these groups they don't acknowledge the Christian faith or the Bible the way it reads, right? So that's puzzling. Um, and only they can explain that if that is in fact true. Maybe that's just something that they tell women at the same time. Some of these guys will say anything just to get whatever it is that they want, and we all understand that. So I don't really know if I buy the whole religion thing, but if it is, it is. But it I had that Christmas album, and so it definitely made me think about that. Like, okay, I thought they were Christians. At least that's what I thought. Anyway, so yeah, she said that they were Israelites. Well, I guess Wanye and Shawn, because they're out here with the spiritual wives. um, Like I said, I don't get why the wife is not aware of the spiritual wives. If you're saying this is a part of your religion, shouldn't your wife understand that you practice this faith? I mean, it's an honest question. Um, then she started talking about sending the wife a side piece box. She called it something else. I don't know. I'm calling it a side piece box. That's the name I put on it. You sending the wife a side piece box with evidence, if you will, that you have been seeing him all this time. Because to my understanding, it sounds as if she's saying that the wife was aware that Avonte was there because she knew Shawn long before he even met the wife. So they already had whatever going on, and then he met his wife and decided to marry her while he was still holding this relationship with Avonte. And so it sounds, and this is why I'm saying it, it sounds as if he was not telling his wife all this stuff. So if you're an Israelite, this is your faith or whatever you're trying to say with that, shouldn't your wife be aware of this? Anyway, so she starts breaking down what was in the box, pictures, and a note where she states that she has been in a relationship with Shawn this whole time, and that it's spiritual. I guess she calls it that. Um, I don't know. And then she says that she didn't know at the time the wife was pregnant. The wife was pregnant at that time, and it had to go to the hospital. She's stating when she spoke to Shawn about her sending the wife the side piece box. Um, he told her that the wife had to go into the hospital, and so that's how she found out. And that's probably when their relationship probably went on the decline, because once the wife find out, then I think the excitement for some of these men is just not there anymore, right? I think a lot of them are doing some of the stuff they're doing simply because they think they're doing something, right? And so when that is taken out of it, they probably don't even want to deal with that woman anymore, right? Once you go to his wife and say all this stuff, because now you put his situation in jeopardy with his wife, where she could say, you know, whether she's going to leave or stay or whatever she's going to say, or you need to leave her alone, which they have to decide if they're going to do that or not, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, she said she put pictures and all this stuff in there to prove that, emails and text messages, to prove that they were in fact having a relationship all that time. Um, and she's claiming that he told his wife that their relationship was spiritual. So this is where the whole spiritual wife stuff come in, I guess. That's the way it sounds to me. And then um, she also spoke on, I said that about the Wanye having the baby outside his marriage. Then she said that at some point, Michael, I guess when Mike decided that he had to take some time, he couldn't do all the stuff that the group could do because of his health, his condition. Um, and so that caused tension between them because Michael was still getting paid and not doing shows. And we've heard this from other groups as well, how certain members don't show up and then yet they still get paid because of the way I guess their contract is set up. And so she was saying that Mike wasn't making concerts, but he was making club dates, if to say he was partying or whatever. I don't know. I guess that's what she's trying to say with that. And so Shawn confronted him about that, and then Shawn and Mike got into a fight. Now I know that there was tensions between them with Mike over the fact that Michael could not work as much as they wanted to as a group, and so that caused tension between them. Now, that much I already knew about. That story is well documented. It was already out here, but I don't think we heard about the fight. Now, if you guys were hearing about this, let me know in the comments because I don't recall hearing about them fighting. But she's, of course, said that Mike won the fight, even with sclerosis. Um, so that's kind of probably when his exit from the group took place, right after they started kind of getting into it over them not wanting to accept the fact that he could not tour with them as much as they wanted to. And because remember, for a while he just had the cane. He would always have his cane or whatever. Um, that's too bad because I kind of miss Mike as well, like the bass sound in their songs or what have you. And of course, some people might say it's karma, but you start to see their decline as well, right? When Mike left. And so, sometimes you just have to be a little selfless in situations like that. But you started to see their decline as well. You started to not hear them as much or see them as much as you would before when all of the members were there. And they didn't try to replace him, they just stayed at the three members. But even if they were to replace him, I think that people probably still would have felt the same way, I guess. What do you guys think about the interview? Like I said, after I watched the interview, I went out and started looking through some other videos. And, when you're watching videos, certain stuff about the people you're watching will start coming up. And the old video from 5 years ago came up. And in that video, Tasha shows where Shawn actually apologized to his wife for having an affair. Oh, well, now that I've thought about it, she also said she was pregnant twice. And she said one, she miscarried, and the other, she got an abortion. So they don't have any kids together, but they were together for 9 years. I don't know. And I guess 9 years of that, he was married. Some of that 9 years, he was married to his wife at that time. Now, I don't know how the wife feels about all of this as well. I don't know. I don't see any interviews out here with her. So she's probably just the type of person who will stay away from these type of conversations. I doubt highly she will say anything. I don't know. She may or may not issue a statement because it sounds like Avonte will continue to have this conversation because it is her story to tell, right? It's her story to tell, but you're saying that you have respect for these people's marriage and for his wife. However, the more you talk about this, and the more people who did know about it now, they are going to know, right? And so um, some people would say that is at a level of disrespect to keep talking about it. It's kind of like Wendy talking about whatever happened between her and Method Man years ago, right? I don't even think Method Man was married at that time. I'm not sure, but I can't remember now. I don't think he was even married to his wife at that time. Maybe they were dating. I don't know. Um, but for her to keep bringing that up, right? You know, the wife do not want to hear that. I'm sure Shawn's wife don't want to hear this because then people start getting in her DMs and in her box trying to ask her about her feelings towards Avonte or towards the whole relationship or towards this whole spiritual stuff. Like, do he really have spiritual wives, or was this just something he was saying because he was saying Avonte, right? Like, I think it's a real conversation. And so people may go to the wife and start trying to ask her questions. And so that's what I'm saying. It becomes disrespectful because now you're putting her in a position to talk about things that she may not want to talk about. I'm speaking of the wife. But I get it. It's Avonte's story to tell since it happened to her. Shawn has not said anything. I doubt, after I saw that he apologized already 5 years ago, I doubt he will say anything again. He may not talk about this again. Um, Unless he, just feels a way about her putting certain things out here. Now, um, I still want the verses between Boys to Men and Jodeci. Hopefully, we will get that, this year or in the future. Even though verses is starting to get weird, right? With all this, they want you to pay. They don't want you to pay. You don't know where you can watch it. They do have a YouTube channel, so for right now, I'm just gonna watch it on YouTube, whether it's live or not. If I'm not watching it in real time, that's fine. But if I can watch it on YouTube, but I'll just go on and watch it here. Um, yeah, I still would want to get that versus, and hopefully we will get that. Let me know what you guys thought about the interview. Were you aware of all this stuff about boys to men, about the Israelites conversation? Like I said, that kind of throws me. I know in my other video I always said I wanted to know what religion she was referring to. Because like I said, they had a whole Christmas album out here, right? Um, so I don't know. To my understanding, I felt just from people that I've talked to, I thought that Israelites did not acknowledge the King James Version or the Bible, right? So I don't know. That's kind of interesting to hear that. I don't know when they converted to this whole Israelite faith. Um, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Do you think that not Wendy, Tasha, Lord, let me not call her Wendy Child. Do you think Tasha will reach out to, who was I saying she should interview? Never mind. I will see you guys in the next video. I'll bring it I'll bring it up next time. Because I think I haven't put that video up yet. It's a video that I'm getting ready to put up. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.